6 tips on how to improve your application for the Supplemental Offer and Acceptance Program, also called the SOAP, in 2021. Tip number 1. Review and revamp your personal statement. Ensure that you reread it or ask a friend to reread it for you. This is a very, very important part of your application. But try to avoid the number one mistake that applicants make with their SOAP application. Let's take a closer look at that. So let's say in the main match you applied to internal medicine, and then you crafted this beautiful, very well thought out personal statement for internal medicine, which is perfect. That is the right thing that you should do when applying to internal medicine. However, you should consider this. If an applicant does not match to a categorical program, then during the SOAP, you can apply for a different specialty. Depending on the way you look at it, this can be a pro of this entire SOAP process. But don't forget to think ahead and remember this. So in 2020, the specialty with the highest number of positions available for the SOAP was general surgery. Then second was internal medicine, and third was family medicine. So ensure that you look up the statistics of last year's SOAP so you can predict what positions may be available in this year's SOAP. And think about what other specialty you may consider applying to. So let's say in the main match you applied to internal medicine, and like I said, you crafted this wonderful internal medicine personal statement. However, in this SOAP, you decide to apply to a family medicine program, and then you use or submit your application with that internal medicine personal statement, and you didn't craft or create a family medicine personal statement. This can seem like you are not dedicated to the specialty of family medicine. You probably weren't good at planning or thinking things through. But if you're watching this video right now, then that's obviously not the case. But to highlight this even more, let's say that you apply to general surgery in your main match, but then you apply to family medicine during your SOAP. However, you use that same general surgery personal statement to apply to a family medicine residency. And this could be a downfall for you, especially if another applicant prepared and they created their family medicine personal statement beforehand. And remember that for family medicine, the most important thing is to show a commitment to the specialty. So even if your entire CV is screaming general surgery, the least you could do is to create a wonderful family medicine personal statement. So to avoid this embarrassing dilemma, it's best that you prepare now for all the possibilities that the SOAP may bring. So you have to be very, very honest and blunt with yourself. Ask yourself, is there anything else that I'd want to do? Which other specialty would I be happy in? Which other specialty could my skills be of good use? So if you really want to do psychiatry, remember that in psychiatry, there aren't many positions available in the SOAP, so you need to be aware of that. I highly, highly recommend looking at the statistics and knowing how many positions are available for each specialty, so you can predict what might happen this year. The SOAP process is definitely such a time crunch. So I wouldn't leave things up to chance until match day unless you're pre-matched or you have an interview that you are really confident about. But even so, preparing now for SOAP can't hurt. So let's move on to our second tip. And tip number 2 is the letter of recommendation. So let's say you had asked someone very prominent in the field that you're applying to for an LOR, but they didn't have the time or something came up for the main match. Well, this is your time to try and get that LOR for the SOAP. Or look at this second example here. Let's say that you really wanted to apply to pediatrics and you had 2 pediatrics LORs and an internal medicine LOR. However, in the SOAP, you're applying to family medicine. Most family medicine programs ask for at least one family medicine LOR. And as of recording this video, it's about 9 weeks until the SOAP. So, asking your advisor or a family medicine mentor that knows you and your skills well, you can ask them for an LOR. Or you could even do a rotation before so that you can have at least one family medicine LOR. Let's say that you are an IMG and all of your LORs are written by doctors from your home country, but you didn't have any US LORs submitted. This is the time for you to get some US clinical experience and try to upload at least one US LOR. If you have any questions at all about this process or anything else that I've mentioned so far, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will make sure that I reply to everyone. And if you are finding this content helpful so far, please be sure to power up the like button and hit subscribe. That lets me know if this video is helpful for you and if I should make more videos like this to help you during the SOAP process. I know there are so many companies that charge thousands of dollars just to help you through this process, but my goal and the goal of MD Powerhouse is to provide you with help, information, advice for free. Now let's move on to the next tip. And tip number 3 is a language certification. So, for certain states like Texas, Nevada, or Arizona that have really big Spanish speaking populations, having a certification like the DELE or DELE can be very helpful. So, let's say that you aren't a native Spanish speaker, however, you do have a good command of the Spanish language. Having a certification just to verify this or confirm this can be extremely helpful. And for some reason, just this single tip right here, people charge thousands of dollars to tell you, but in a very long, like 1-2 hour long video session. But I'm just trying to keep it to the point and as straightforward and as helpful and simple as possible. So let's go. Tip number 4, training certifications. So let's say you have received your BLS or ACLS certifications after the main match. Then you can add those certifications or let it be known that you do have them during the SOAP. If you don't have them as yet, then try and get them. It's extremely helpful, especially for specialties like internal medicine or general surgery. If you know any other training certifications that may be helpful during the SOAP process, then be sure to leave them in the comments down below. I really want to foster a community that's extremely helpful and beneficial and where people can find just a sea of information. So if you have become ECFMG certified, please ensure that this is added to your application. Of course, this is something that every IMG needs and it is extremely favorable for programs. If you've reached this far into the video and you haven't liked the video yet, then what are you waiting for? Be sure to power up the like button, especially if you enjoyed all the extremely important tips we have discussed so far. Lastly is your USMLE scores. So I know that for some people, they probably have done step 1 and they got their tokens and everything, but things just didn't work out for applying to the programs that they wanted to for the main match because of this. Well, now is your time to upload those scores. If you are an IMG, having your USMLE Step 3 score can be a major help for your application. So let's say a resident doesn't pass Step 3, then that means that they can't get their license. So if you pass your Step 3, it kind of alleviates like any possible red flags or might be even a factor for you to be chosen over others, because some programs really find this as a favorable factor. Despite the positive of having the USMLE Step 3 score, again, you have to be honest with yourself. If you know that you aren't ready or you have any doubts about how you feel preparing or going into that exam, then don't do it. Because if you do the exam and then you fail, that could actually work against you and be a red flag. So in 2020, 1,897 positions were offered in the SOAP, and 99% of those positions were filled. So just remember this, because I know that not matching in the main match can be devastating for a lot of people. However, it's not over. The SOAP can be a very, very overwhelming and even an intimidating process, but this can be alleviated with preparation. So, the pointers that I want to leave you with is one, be honest with yourself. Think about what other specialties you'd want to apply to and prepare for those other specialties. Start drafting a personal statement and ask others for help. There's 9 weeks until the SOAP. You can still try to get a US LOR or get an LOR that is relevant to the field that you may apply to. And also research the statistics from last year. That can help you to prepare mentally for what may come, what positions could be available, and what you might end up applying to. I truly hope that the information I provided in this video is helpful for anyone that has watched it. And if you have any questions, concerns, anything at all, please leave them in the comment section below. But that brings us to the end of this video. So if you like this content, be sure to power up the like button, hit subscribe, and that notification bell. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to continue learning more, you can click this video right here. Thank you. Bye.